Portable power station manufacturers such as Pecron and Anker and now Oupes are all sharing the same playbook in the sense that they are building new versions of popular power stations that are smaller, lighter, cheaper, and if we want to complete that list, also scaled down possibly. And we've seen it with the Pecron E1000 over here and the F1000 over there, which I reviewed recently. We've seen it with the Anker C1000 and the C1000 Gen 2, and now we're seeing it with the Oupes Mega 1 Lite. Now, is this trend a good thing or a bad thing? Is it good for the manufacturer or is it good for the consumer? In this video, we're going to take a look at this new Mega 1 Lite and kind of answer some of those questions. Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and today we're going to be checking out the new Oupes Mega 1 Lite. And this is a new version of the Mega 1, which has been out for a while and has been pretty popular. And it's been a very good value proposition in portable power stations. And now we've got a light version of it. Now in this video, I'm going to go over some of the differences, which really isn't many. And then I'm going to share some opinions on if this new trend is something that is good or bad, and hopefully help you make sense of which version is the right one for you. Because you can still buy both of them, and there are use cases for each of them that would make it make better sense to you. So let's start talking about some of the differences between these two. And really, like I said, it's very little. One thing is we've got 2 USB-A's here instead of 4. I think that's almost a completely forgivable decision. I don't think anybody really needs 4 USB-A ports on a power station. If you do, just grab a big USB charger, plug it into the AC. I know it's going to be a little less efficient, so that's not a big deal. The other thing is we've lost the other DC ports, the little DC 5521 ports that we had on the Mega 1. Again, not super widely used by most people. If it's something that you use, then that right there is probably a good reason to get the Mega 1 versus the Mega 1 Lite. And then the only other real major difference, and probably the biggest difference between the two, is expandability. The Lite does not have expandability as far as plugging it into external batteries, whereas the Oupes Mega 1 did have a port on the side to expand it with, I think, up to 2 extra batteries if you bought the Oupes brands. Or if you're crafty and you can make your own adapters to use bare batteries, then there's obviously the benefits of doing that as well. So that is really the biggest difference that we've seen in this complete trend, right? The E1000 had battery expandability. The F1000 over there did not. The Anker C1000 had expandability. The C1000 Gen 2 does not. And now the Oupes Mega 1 has expandability and the Lite version does not. Now that certainly saves money for the manufacturer, which should trickle down to the consumer. And in most cases it does. But these manufacturers, they move the prices around so much that it's really hard to see when you're saving money. Right now, this Lite version is probably, I don't know, $30 or $40 cheaper than the non-Lite version. And that is, of course, as of the time of this recording. But it wasn't but about a month ago that the Mega 1, the older version, was on sale for several months at like $299, which is cheaper than both of them right now. So yes, it's currently cheaper, but just a month ago, you could have gotten the Mega 1 for a lot cheaper than the Mega 1 Lite. So always do some price history searches when you're in the market for these things because they do go on sale all the time. Now this isn't going to be a full-blown review on the Mega 1 Lite. If you want to see a full-blown review, hey, drop it down in the comments below. Say, hey Chris, we want to see a full review, and I'll be happy to make that happen. But I will show you real quick what it comes with in the box. Because I just got this today, and it's got a solar input cable, so you got your MC4 to your Anderson. Then you've got a cigarette lighter cable, cigarette lighter port to Anderson. And then we've got this guy here, the AC input cable, which, come on, do we have to do that? Now, I've got a guess on why they use this plug that nobody else uses. And that's because this thing can pull a lot of juice from the wall. And if you use the same connector here that everybody else uses on their power stations almost, you run the risk of someone grabbing a cable that looks like this, but came from their computer monitor and is not near thick enough to carry, in some cases, up to 1800 watts from the wall into the power station, then that could be a potential fire hazard. So using this proprietary cable here kind of forces you to use the cable that came with it, which they know is rated for enough amps for charging this guy from the wall. But besides that, if you want to know all the specs on this thing, I'll link right up here my review for the Mega 1 from, I don't know, a year or two ago, because everything, the power input, the power output, the solar charging, all that stuff, the battery size, it's all the same. So you can watch that review, ignore a couple USB ports, ignore the expansion battery, ignore the DC barrel ports, and that is basically a good review for this guy. Now, as far as my opinions about this current trend, I kind of understand in this space here, in this size, what the manufacturers are doing. Now, of course, they're cutting costs. But in reality, something this size, something in the, let's say, 1800, 2000 watts or so on the inverter, something in the 1000 watt hour battery category. I mean, these things are made for camping. They're made for camping, they're made for portability, they're made for running something in your house if your power goes out. They're not made for whole house backup. They're not made for full-scale solar systems. So with that in mind, if I was to take this thing camping, would I be necessarily worried about the expansion port and being able to have expansion batteries? I guess it depends on how long I'm camping. But in most cases, if you're just bringing this for a weekend and you just need to keep your phones charged up, keep your lights on the tent or something, and maybe run a 12-volt refrigerator, then the 1000 watt hours is probably good enough for that. So with that in mind, the manufacturers are giving us an opportunity to save some money by ignoring the need to expand this out to 2000, 3000, 5000 watt hours. And I guess that kind of makes sense. Now, if they made an Oupes Mega 5 Lite, something that is 4000 watts of inverter and 4,000 or 5,000 watt hours of battery, then yeah, now we're looking at something that can run your whole house, and it makes perfect sense to have plenty of expansion batteries plugged into that. So if they made something that huge and made it non-expandable, that would not be smart at all. But anything in the 1000 watt hour and smaller, I think it's perfectly fine to get away with taking away that expandability from it. Now we still have the solar input over here, which is 12 to 78 volts, up to 14 amps. So this is still a very valid way of getting power into here, whether it's from your car, your solar panels, or from other methods using some kind of a alternator charger or a bare battery. It's just not the super plug-and-play convenient way of buying one of their batteries and plugging it straight in. So hopefully that gave you a quick rundown of what is different with this Lite version. And hopefully I explained it well enough to understand why we're going to see this over and over again from each of the manufacturers going into the future. And as long as they still give us the options of buying the Lite version and the non-Lite version, or the E versus the F, or the Gen 1 versus the Gen 2, then I guess it really does benefit the consumer because we have the choice of which model we want to buy and which model suits our use case the best. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, I appreciate a thumbs up. That helps out the channel. Go ahead and check out the rest of the channel. Lots of reviews on portable power stations, and then lots of geeky stuff mixed in there as well. I think that's going to do it for this video. I thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.